Short squeezes, long squeezes, those don't sound good, do they? Well, they're not really. And here's why you, as a trader, might want to avoid them and how to avoid them. So a short squeeze, for example, happens when traders who are short the stock see the stock price going up. That does two things. First of all, it creates a loss for that short stock position, and it also increases the margin requirement, the capital required to hold that trade. If they either can't stand the losing so much money or they don't have the money to maintain the position, they have to exit the trade, they have to buy back their short stock, and that buying activity increases the stock's price. That's a short squeeze. A long squeeze is, you don't hear it as often, but just weak longs or weak long hands, we'll call them, is the exact opposite. Traders who are long the stock and the stock starts dropping, they either cannot stand the losses or they can't maintain the position because of increased capital requirements, and they have to exit the trades. Okay, they just have to sell their stock, which in turn pushes the stock price down. So one of the ways you can see that, or at least there's no official record of that. It's not a market measure or metric that you can read. But one of the things you can do is look at a chart, look at a daily chart, and look for any spikes in volume. So for example, I'm just looking at Micron here. When Micron sold off here back in early June, you saw an increase in volatility or increase in volume, increase in trading volume. That's what you may want to look out for. Any increase, any big spike in volume can be an indicator, particularly when it's tied to a big jump up in price or drop in price, can be a short or a long squeeze. So that doesn't sound good, and it really isn't. The reason is that it forces you to do the trade. No trader wants to be forced in or out of a position, forced to close a trade. It stinks. You get lousy fills. It's distracting. It's not a good place to be. Okay, so how do you avoid it? Well, this is why we talk so much about capital management and why it is probably I don't want to say the most important thing, but is certainly one of the most important things to manage as a trader. Let's take a look at it as an example. Let's use Micron just because we're already here. Micron, very volatile stock, big stock, $1,000 high price stock, $1,000 stock. Let's take a look at what happens here. If I'm bullish on Micron, just as an example, and I sell, let's say, the 950 put, okay? Look at what the capital requirement is. Buying power effect is the amount of money that I need to put that trade on. In other words, if I sell that 950 put, I will need about $12,430, let's round it up to $12,500 to establish that trade, to enter that trade, hold that position. Okay, and maybe I can do that. Maybe I have a big account. Maybe my account is $100,000. Okay, I can use up 12% of my capital on that one short put. Maybe not the best idea, but okay, maybe I'm okay with that. But here's a trick that we learned back before we had all this software. Okay, and here's the idea. Let me minimize this for a second. Here's the idea. The stock is at 1,033, and I'm short the 950 put, selling it for what's the price here? $83. Okay. If the price of Micron drops $83 from 1033 down to 950. That 950 put is going to look an awful lot like the 1030 put does right now. Let's go over that again. I have the 950 put, and the 950 put's trading for, I don't know, about $86. If Micron goes from 1033 down to 950, it's going to make that 950 put the at the money put. And right now, the at the money put is the 1030 put. Well, it's okay. It's in between 1030 and 1035, but let's use 1030 as the strike. Okay, fine. So it's going to go from about $86 to, I don't know, $125. So it's going to create a loss. Okay? But here's where the whole squeeze thing comes in. And here's why capital management is so important, particularly on high-priced stocks like Micron. Watch what happens. Okay? So I have my short 950 put for, let's say, $86. And my buying power effect is, well, $12,600. Okay? Now watch what happens, and I'm going to use the software. It's very easy to test this. I'm going to drag it up to the 1030, and I'm going to drop my price down to 86. Okay? And I'm not going to route this order because I don't want to get filled. I'll get filled at 86 immediately. But look what happens to the buying power effect. It went from about 12,500 up to 20,700. Holy smokes. That's about a 60% increase or so. 70% increase in the capital requirement to hold that trade. So here's what it means. If I'm short that 950 put and Micron drops down to 950, my capital requirement to hold that position is going to go from about 12,500 to 20,700, or now 24,000. Yikes. Can I afford to do that? If I was comfortable with 12, can I maintain 24? Forget the fact that I'm losing money on that short put. Can I hold that position? If the answer is no, I have to turn around and buy this option back. Where can I buy it back for? Well, it's 1030, it's about $10 wide. I have to find somewhere where I can buy that short put back because, first of all, if I don't have the money, there's a margin call. The broker is going to force me to buy it back at whatever the price the put is. Brokerage firm doesn't care. They need to maintain their margin requirements with the clearing firms and the exchanges and the regulators and all that stuff. They don't screw around. They can't screw around. If you need to cover that put, if you don't have the margin, if you don't have the capital to cover that $24,000 margin requirement, you got to close it right now, okay? Or by the end of the day. But you have to take care of it, and that stinks. How do you avoid it? Well, it's not by avoiding trading Micron. If you're bullish, you're bullish. Okay, maybe you think the stock's going up. Let's clear this trade out for a second. Let's go back to this 950 put. I'm going to sell that here. Sell the 950 put, but instead of just leaving it as the plain 950, I'm going to buy the 940 put to create a short put spread. And I'm taking in, what's the credit I'm getting here? About $4 for this trade, okay? $4.40. Watch the buying power effect. Buying power effect is $10 minus the credit, $560. 10 points between 940 and 950. And my buying power effect is 1,000 minus the credit, 440 is equal to 560. Okay, great. Now let's do this. Micron drops $85. Makes my 950 put at the money, right? So now the stock is right at 950. What happens to my short put spread? Let's drop this down to the 9. Let's do this. Dragging and dropping. Now I'm short let's do the 935. 925. So my argument is that the 940, 950 put spread is going to look an awful lot like the 1025, 1035 put spread does now if the stock price drops $85. So it's going to turn that out of the money put spread into an at the money put spread. But wait a second, what do we see here? The buying power effect is only $370. Well, that's because, let's adjust this for a second. Let's open this up so we can change it down to $4. Because if I sell that for $4, okay. Okay. The buying power is, again, it doesn't accurately reflect it, but the bottom line is the buying power is going to stay about $560. Okay, this buying power requirement is using the higher price of the short put spread. But look at the, oh, there it goes. Just clicked in. Now it's $600. Went from $560 to $600 only because I'm just assuming I'm getting filled at $4, not $440. It doesn't go from $12,500 to $24,000. I can handle this. I can handle margin requirement on a short put spread staying the same, not increasing, even if the stock price drops. So not only am I protected, am I defining my risk. Okay, the worse this trade, the most this trade can hurt, most it can lose is that $560 if I sold for $440 or $600 if I sold for $400. That's the worst that can happen, no matter how far Micron drops. But more to the point, and what's pertinent to this discussion is it doesn't, because my capital requirement is already defined when I put on the trade, I'm not forced out. Okay, I'm not forced to buy this back. The margin requirement, the capital requirement stays the same on this vertical even as the stock price drops. So, do I like losing money on the short put spread? Of course not. It stinks. I don't want to lose $600 on my short put spread. If that happens, it happens. Okay, $600 is a lot better than losing thousands of dollars on a naked short put. And I don't have to be forced out if the stock goes against me. On the call side, on the upside, a short squeeze, instead of selling a naked short call, sell a call spread. Same thing works. I used short put versus short put spread here. But the same principle applies to a short call versus a short call spread. So there are a couple of things that I want you to take away from this. First of all, what are squeezes? How you can see them against volume. And again, they're not really defined. It's something you hear discussed in the marketplace. Traders talk about short squeezes. But you can simulate what the capital requirement of an option position is by an out-of-the-money option by looking at the margin requirement of the at-the-money option. Okay, if the stock price drops from 1035 down to 950, the 950 put will look an awful lot like the 1035 put does now. Okay, or if you're thinking of the call side, the 1050 put or 1050 call, if the stock price rallies up $30 from 1028 up to 1050. The 1050 call will look a lot like the 1030 call does now. Okay, so you can test it by dragging around the strikes to see what the capital requirement is. And that if you use a vertical, the capital requirement is, in most cases, fixed. If you get really, really wide on them, yeah, it can start changing because the capital requirement is on the naked short option, not the distance between the strikes. But if you keep your strikes relatively tight, in other words, close to each other, you can have a defined risk, fixed capital requirement, and you don't have to be forced out of a trade if it goes against you. Now, none of this is a trade recommendation. And if you do decide this trade, you do so with understanding all the issues that can happen with it and all the numbers that can work for and against you. And if you want to trade, please do not use any more risk than you are comfortable with.